I prayed on this. I need to get this done. And we have a few more videos to get tidied up. Trying to get everything done within this month. We have a new company under the Black Series Edition, which we've been hammering out, working on. And as I said before, I need to get these demonstrations done so we can have the site completed. This is one of the technologies we are working on. It is a black screen paint technology designed for projector mapping. And this basically enhances anyone who's using projector mapping or any kind of visual art or anything you may be using for any kind of 3D applications. It actually advances your ability to be able to pull better color, 100% contrast levels, things that are needed in order to get an amazing image instead of having an image that's going to be washed out or faded, because in your artwork or projects where you're working on, you're just dealing with basic white. We've used projector mapping before quite a few times. I've actually been in a few forum sites using projector mapping technology. And the problem they have is when an artist basically designs a showpiece, the problem they have is the fact that they can't get it to move. They want it to become technically they want to bring it to life. So that's what the mapping does. It allows you to do multiple layers of applications. It allows you to bring objects to life. If you are doing a scenery, and say you want the ocean to look realistic, or you want objects to move in your artwork, and you want it to look more realistic, or you just want to basically design an abyss and a black ocean or an endless vortex of outer space. This is where 3D mapping application comes in, because it allows you to be able to pinpoint certain areas, multiple layers, and add in these particular special applications. So we're going to be doing multi-level applications, which means I'm going to get some boxes, tubes, weird stuff that we can just put up here on a table and just display how we can actually show multi-applications for each one. Now, to make it more interesting, I painted the screen in an octagon. And the reason why it was done this way was because when you do square screens, it's kind of hard to believe it's 3D mapping technology when any projector can do a square. No projector basically can do an octagon unless it has a special equipment that allows the projector to be manipulated to do that particular shape. So that's what we're doing here. I think it would be more interesting if I just put different shapes and I did it that way. So with this, it just gives the people I work with in the art community who have used our technology for different forms of ways of making their artwork come to life. This is going to be something that's going to help them out on a different level, and it's going to give them the ability to be able to bring new life, contrast, and color to their artwork. All right, so yesterday, or a couple of days ago, we did my particular pictures and gifts from my folder. So today we're going to show you the applications on the machine itself, which is Lifeform. Unfortunately, I had people asking me about the equipment. Where did I get it from? Where did I buy it? I bought it when the company first came out. And sad to say, the company's no longer here due to the fact that COVID took it under. So there are other applications you can use for projector mapping that will work on this paint with no problem whatsoever. It comes down to not the program, it comes down to the projector. This will not work on unnamed brand knockoff projectors. You have to have a name brand projector. Doesn't mean you have to go out and spend thousands of dollars. You can spend $300, you can spend $200. I'm using a Sony VPL FH30. This projector cost me at the time when I purchased it around $300 to around $200 to $150 now on eBay. So this will work with no problem. All right, so let me get over to my computer. Let's change this out and put some different demonstrations on here so you can check it out from here. All right. Let's see, I want to their programs. Now, like I said, the applications that they have on their programs requires you to have, I don't know why. It's interesting. A lot of the applications they have require black surfaces. You have to have a black surface in order to be able to pick up, especially like this right here. We have the spear that's moving in and out, it's disappearing, it's reappearing. And as you saw in the test results, when you had time, go over to the website, check out test demonstrations. You will see the difference between our product and black paint and black fabric and so forth. And the reason why we do those demonstrations is because if I'm displaying something like this, the first thing that comes to mind from somebody, they would think, well, you know, I can do the same thing if I have black paint or black fabric, and that's not going to work that well due to the fact that those particular surfaces do not have the ability to receive and understand white light. From the technology you're looking at right there, it can actually see and understand white light. Now, if you're interested in those different particular demonstrations, we've actually pointed a couple of businesses over to that section. It's called Black versus Black. You can go into the demos, you can check out the certified screens, our white level test demonstrations, ambient light projection demonstrations, 1,000 lumen demonstrations. All our test demonstrations are displayed directly to the website for the customer or company to see. All right. Let's do some psychedelic colors. Do some bright muted colors on the screen sheet we got. And that shows you the Black Technologies color capabilities to be able to pull and accept not only white light, but also color. All right, let's do multi-layers. So multi-layers, when you do one layer and then we're going to put another layer over the top of it. So we're going to do 2 layers at the same time. So we want to do the sphere and we want to do this weird kind of, I call it a mesh fly design. So now we're going to do a multi-layer application. We're going to see the sphere and you're going to see a kind of a mesh kind of design pop up. This is a big file. That's why it takes a bit. Anything exposed up a little bit, it's a big file. Here we go. Now this is called a multi-layer. So we're running 2 projection mappings at the same time. Pretty cool because you have one projector. You can do multi-applications with one projector, which I find really fascinating. Now we're going to add a 3rd on top of that one. Now, for those of you who are looking to use this technology for business. There's other ways you can do it too. We're doing an advertising for a couple of the companies where I'm going to be landing at. We're going to be doing some black signs that are going to be coded with this technology, and we're going to be using projector mapping so they can make their storefronts come to life. So keep in mind, if you're trying to do the entire storefront, you need multiple projectors to do this. You need a projector for each side. You're in the Disney World, you see they changed the Magical Kingdom into all these different show displays. This is the technology used. Now, another technology we are working on right now is an invisible technology that will allow the artist or whoever's using it to be able to spray this on. It is a clear coating. It does have the ability to be able to change and alter the surface. So if your surface is red and you hit this with a mapping projector, everything is going to come up with a tint of red in it. This technology we're working on, if you spray it with this coating, it's going to still remain red. It's going to show the object is red, but that coating is going to allow that structure to change to different colors, including bright whites, contrast levels, and color. That's what we're working on next. This is all part of the mapping technology that we're working on. All right, let's take out the sphere. We'll take out the sphere for right now, and I am going to add in, let me see, I think I need to remove all this from here. Go back to my pictures, my project pictures. I gotta remove these out of the equation because these are gonna pop up. All right. I had people asking me, and I asked it myself, I was kind of curious myself. I'm looking into it. If you can basically project and map a movie to a screen, which would be extremely cool, and I'll tell you why. For curved screen applications. Because with a curved screen, it requires multiple projectors, it requires a lot of edge bleeding and edge blending, same thing. But anyway, it requires a lot of that if you're doing curved screen applications. But if you have the ability to use one projector and map the movie into the curved screen, oh, it'll be just so much easier. I think this has the option, because I do see an option here for video, but I haven't had a chance to explore it yet. But there is software that they update on here the last time. But one thing about it is, even though the company's not around anymore, they're still supporting the technology. And I've seen options in here for video, and I'm like, gee, video, that'd be freaking cool, because that means I can design a curved screen, and I can just basically just download onto a hard drive my movies, and just basically transfer them to the computer, and just run it right over to the curved screen, which will make it so much easier. But I have to get time to explore this. And this is the beautiful thing about it. Now we don't have more testing to do. This is time I can spend working on the more insane part of technologies that I've been working on. We have if you ever saw the video demonstrations, we have a liquid projection screen that we showed off a couple of times, but we never got a chance to really immerse ourselves into that technology. And as for working with the programs on this computer, from what I've seen on the updates, I do want to test out the video application to see if this is possible to be able to take a video and map it into a curved screen, which would would be absolutely amazing. Because again, if you've done curved screens, I've done quite a few curved screens, it is a freaking headache because you have to use so many multiple projectors from different angles and to blend all that together is a lot of work. So this would make it so much easier. All right, so we're doing two applications here, right here. This is more impressive when you do it with glass technology, because you can see this on both sides, which we've done quite a few times. All right, let's get some other applications. Need a little bit of some hypnotic. Now, I'm going to explain something about black technology that some people fail to understand. In order for this technology, or any technology we develop that's black, in order for a scanner, like especially this equipment, it has to be able to read white light. If white light doesn't come off the screen, the scanner can't pick it up. That's the problem, and it comes out too dark. So it has to pick up a bright enough image. If it's too bright, it's pushing off too light, then we get this kind of a checkerboard pattern that pops up in areas where the scanner's having a difficult time picking up the image because there's too much light in the environment. So the balance has to be perfect. So when we scan this surface, when it comes up as a perfect octagon. There's no over too much light, there's not enough light, it picks up perfectly. And that's how I know that the technology is going to work well with projector mapping applications, because off camera, I was in here doing multiple codes, trying to figure out exactly if the scanner was going to have an issue with it. Now, the reason why I can't do that online, because when a scanner triggers off on mapping projection technology, it actually shows all your information, boom, right up there. I don't even know why they do it that way, but I guess it has to show everything. It shows IP addresses, all that stuff will pop up. All that stuff, DNA numbers, all that stuff will pop up on the screen. And so I don't know why they do that, but they do it. So can't do that on camera, because I have to do that over and over again. Personal information is going to be popping up. Can't do that. I don't even know why. There's not even an option to remove it, or an option to basically cover that up. Right? It's just there. Maybe that may be for a reason, like that problem right there. All right, so we got the hypnotic circle. If you hear an air raid horn going off in the background, the reason for that, and I've been here for quite some time, and never could understand what that sound was going off in the background, but apparently I thought it was maybe a military base or something near here, but it's not a military base. It's basically, I'll explain in a few minutes. It's interesting, and it's also too quite strange, but yeah. So apparently this area at one point had an overpopulation of a certain bird that wreaked havoc in the neighborhood. In order for them to make sure that the bird doesn't continue to nest in the area, that horn goes off to deter them from actually coming into the neighborhood to begin with. I don't know, that's what I was told. I mean, some people told me there's a base nearby. I'm gonna go with the base. Usually if you have an overpopulation of one animal, they just bring in another animal to pretty much just even the odds, pretty much level the ecosystem. That's what they'll do. If they got one animal that's dominating that particular section, they just introduce another breed into the atmosphere, not the atmosphere, it'd be crazy, into the ecosystem, and that changes things out. An air horn going off every couple minutes. It doesn't go off every minute, but it does go quite a bit. Here once in a blue moon, but that's what I would think would be for. All right, so now we're doing a fire display. Kind of a hit kind of fire display. And this is also fantastic for, I'm not a big fan of the club life, but for clubs and parties and whatever you want to use it for. And as you can see, we're using this in a fully lit environment. We're not having any problems with the images or colors washing out, because that's the ambient light projection technology that we had embedded in the screen paint. Now, this is not for, we got to put that disclaimer in there, and in the disclaimer, for a minute. Sorry about that, people. I'm a little bit tired here. Let's grab this one here. And the disclaimer, we have to put in that this is not a projection screen paint. It is not. It's not designed for movies, it's not designed for gaming, it's not designed for any of that. It is strictly designed for all different forms of projector and visual applications. That's what it's designed for. That's what the engineer is designed for. I'm an engineer myself. Touche, Mr. Bird, touche. Okay, let's go over and let's grab another one. I think I want to do. Ooh, man, got some tie-dye going on with this one. This is super, super great. Man, I saw this particular design, I had this song that popped in my head, Magic Carpet Ride. You ever heard that song before? That's what just popped in my head when I saw this particular display. There we go. And that shows you, we get this all the time. We're showing off Black technology. They're always worried about the color and white levels and all that. All that'll pull through with no problem. Nice and bright like Christmas lights. All right. Let's grab this up. Tie-dye and sonar. Ooh, this is good. I like this one right here. We're going to do this one next for some abstract designs. Now this is nice if you want to have something like this in your restaurant as a piece of art in the background. Something that draws attention. Anything that draws attention, that's what you want. Now, I have a friend of mine, she's doing an ice cream parlor, and they're going to display 120-inch of the cinema. She's pre-ordered for the cinema complete. And the reason why is because in an ice cream parlor, I've never seen it before. I do my research and walk around at stores and see what they have for advertising, what's drawing people to the store. You want something that's going to constantly keep people's attention to always look at your store. The more they look at your store, the more they're interested to walk inside and purchase what you have. You need to have that attraction. Signs and stuff only go so far. This technology, at the end of the day, window glass technology, is something that's going to draw people to your store. Because first things first, you're going to see it and they're going to walk over to it. When I got a chance to see window technology in other places and see how they were doing it and the projectors they were using as for research, and first time I saw it, matter of fact, I saw a display over by the art museum. They had 4 projectors and they had a sphere in the middle of the part, and the sphere was changing all these different colors. And I had to get out the car. Get out of the car and look at it. Stare like, what the freak, how is this being done? Not only that, because I do that kind of stuff at the end of the day, but it was just fascinating. I wasn't the only, like 6 or 7 people or people coming over and just staring at it. And that's when I realized, okay, this is a direction to go with our technology also, to use it as a way of advertising. So she's doing a 120-inch cartoon screen. Now, the beautiful thing about it is because of the black technology, it's able to absorb light and be able to push out images earlier in the day. That technology can basically produce images outside. You're seeing 2 massive 250-inch screens. I mean, our records are basically, that's why I said why we're doing all these tests, that we can actually talk about this. Someone says, okay, what's your experience in outdoor technology projection screens? Where do you want me to begin? I've done inflatable screens, I've done motorized screens, I've done screens as big as 250 inches, I've done 180s, dual 150 inches, you name it, we can just name it, we can pull videos on it and everything. That's why it's important to get these tests and do these demonstrations, because we can display this. Because we have all this knowledge and understanding of black technology being used outside to display much better images, this is something that is a fantastic idea for your storefront. Now, the ice cream parlor, which I was explaining also too, is doing a cartoon screen. They're going to have a screen out there. It's going to be showing all the old cartoons from back in the day, and Bugs Bunny and Popeye and all that good stuff we used to watch when we were kids. They're going to be displaying this on the side of this ice cream shop that is going to draw in a ton of business, because people are going to drive by. They're going to see those old-fashioned cartoons and they're going to go out there and watch. And when they go out there and watch, they're going to pop into that store and see what they got to offer, and they're going to buy ice cream. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's why I don't understand why restaurants Fast food shops don't do this because the first thing when you get food, most people do eat outside. The majority of people go home to eat their food and they go watch TV or they whip out their phones and they go watch TV or TV shows or whatever. And imagine if you had this display on the side of a building where people can go out there and eat and watch at the same time. Also, a nice little business to start up too, to have something where people can eat and watch at the same time, which ain't a bad idea to invest money into. But anyway, since we make the technology, might as well. But if you consider the fact that people are going to go back into the store to get more food to watch, because that's the first thing you do when you go home. You go back into your kitchen, you get more food, you sit down and eat, you have your snacks, you sit down and eat. Even if you order food, you still sit down and come go to the kitchen to get more food to sit down and eat. We all do it. So imagine if you're doing this with your business and you have something outside where people can watch a show, a little bit of a show or something, whatever, and sit down and eat. You're not only bringing more business to your company, you're also on top of that bringing customers that will repeatedly come back because of what you have displayed out there. And not only will they come back, they will talk about your business. And that's more important because the best advertisement for business is talk. That's the best. That's what gets people coming back. If I go to a store and I see a limited edition item that I know that they have like 10 of, I want to contact my friends who know or are into this particular item. Like, look, man, they got 10 of them up there. You might want to go up there and pick one up right now because I got mine right now. Here's mine on display. And I know my friends, they will get into a car, drive down there and pick those items up. Talk is the best advertising. And that's what you want. You want people to talk about it. The black screens, the reason why they produce so much business is because the first thing people talk about is the screen being black. Well, I was outside of a barbecue and they inflated the screen and it was black. So what do you mean it was black? Ooh, was it white? No, gray. It was actually physically black. There you go. That's why black technology is going to be soon the dominant and best technology. And that shows you right there with mapping display. Or if you have a visual art gallery, I've seen those too. They just have black screens painted up. They have our technology embedded in. They have pretty frames around it. And they have the projectors hidden in different areas where they can change out the artwork at will. Matter of fact, they have Van Gogh. Van Gogh has live art. Before we get ready to move to our next level, we're going to do one for the projection setup. We're going to do one with a frame and everything, and we're going to paint it in, put a frame around it, and we're going to do some live artwork displays. All right, so let's finish up. Let's get some more applications on here. I like to explain as much as possible because, like I said, we got people that are in this field and we give them some ideas of what they can do with the technology. So I like this one right here. This is a pretty nice display right here. Let's go grab something else. Oh, these are pretty cool to look at. We're going to put these in right now. I'm going to change up this, this, and this, and this. So we're going to do now a wall shift. Okay, let's grab a couple more. Now, is this a final design? No, and it's not a final design. It still needs more testing. Maybe more testing. We are going to be adding in an even higher heightener for the technology, but just a little bit more testing to go on it. That's basically it. But that's pretty much, when I say we're done all testing, when it comes to the screen paint products, we're done all that. We're not doing it anymore. This testing is a little different. We don't throw certified, there's no point in putting a certified screen because it doesn't even fit in the same category. This testing is a little different. And this testing is all done behind door, and done privately because This is for companies, and this is for basically people that are going to be in the art community. I'm going to be doing a lot of these demonstrations in front of other people in different forms of establishments, and this is where I'm going to be at. But other than that, it doesn't require the same testing as the other stuff. This stuff requires bigger testing. So it's a little different when it comes to testing. All right, let me see. We need to go over to our options here. Let's do our breakaway surface. So I want to do a crumbling wall effect. And this is why I strongly explain to when we do these demonstrations why you cannot do this with a gray screen. And you definitely can't do it with the white screen, because when you do a crumbled wall, the background must remain solid black. So we do the crumbling wall. Let's go pick up, let me see, where was something, another one. Let's put up the confusion. This is a confusion. Now, for those who are figuring out why in the world would we develop a liquid screen, I'm going to tell you what they're used for. They do have, well, it's not so much a liquid, well, ours is a liquid screen, but I'll explain to you what they're designed for and how hard it is to develop a liquid screen on this level, because they're used for particular purposes. But I'll explain to you what they're used for. Have you ever seen one before? That's why I always go around looking for different applications of why and how they design what projectors can be used for. And they're used for more than just movies. They're used for all different forms of applications. Just, you know, you have to be to think outside the box. All right. Ooh, when did they get this one? Oh, this is freaking crazy. Let's see, what's that one here? Now, I try to make this as clear as possible. And I know I think some people are going to be like saying, well, we can do this with the gray. Yeah, you can do it with the gray screen. You can do it with the white screen also too. But the problem you're going to have there is that 100% black level coming up has to be black. Can't be gray. It has to be a physical black. If an artist is going to turn this into like a vortex or an outer space or a black hole, that has to come up 100% black. It can't come up gray. It can't come up with a tannish look to it. It has to be black. When you do DJ for visual effects, you see them all the time. You go to the club, you need that black background to make those visual effects push through. It has to be black. If you look at DJ screens, they're gray and they're white. The reason why is because they don't know anything about technology. And that's the reason why we're going to be doing online and offline, so that way we can get more publicity for the company, because there are people who do not know about this technology and they need to know. And that's why we're pushing to do all these demonstrations for offline. Now, with it's the reason people have been interested in saying, well, because you guys are going to be offline, does this mean you're not going to? Yes, we're going to be online. This is why we're taking the time to build this website. It's why I've been putting all this time and effort into building this website for our online customers and offline customers. They can go to this spot, they can purchase right from there, and even when we have the storefronts, they can still go to the website and buy if they choose. I wouldn't be putting all this time and effort in designing these videos if that was the case. I wouldn't be bothered with it at all. So yeah, we're doing everything. And this is why we're showcasing all the technology we have that we're designing, and on here and on the Crystal Age. But this right here is where we put the 3D mapping application. We thought we would do it with a black series instead. The Black series does produce much better images than the, it does have an advancement over the 39s and the 44s. That looks cool, doesn't it? Imagine that on a bigger display. Because right now we're just on our projector here. We can actually project it, so we can actually do a side of a house with it if you want. There's some pretty cool stuff with it. But the reason why we designed it this way, because like I said, how are we reconnecting right in here with the physical modem? All right, so our fellow was actually doing a sculpture, and in this sculpture, he wanted to bring the sculpture to life. And when he was using either whites or gray products, the colors were washing out. They didn't do well in the fully lit environment. You had to do demonstrations strictly in the dark because they had problems with the images pulling up and washing out. We're in black technology, we don't have that issue. We can coat a surface, we can hit it with a projector, we get a fully lit environment, and everything's gonna pull up. Now, if he wanted to do the statue and he wanted to break it down, where he just showed the face showing outer space, and turned the body into liquid arms, we have water flowing through them, and it turned the chest into this brazen fire. You can do that better with black technology because, again, our images pull up much more sharper, more brighter, and we can maintain the fully lit environments without an issue, which means you can have this sitting literally on top of a stage with all the lights around it and no problem whatsoever. And that's what they're looking for, you know? Looking for solutions that are going to be able to take their artwork to the next level. That's what all artists want to be there, bring their artwork to life. Imagine, not only can you now design a statue, but you can now bring it to life if you choose. And change it up to different colors, which is pretty cool. You want to make the eyes move back and forth. They're really, really good for projector mapping. You can scan a dime with that stuff. That's how good the scan is on a projector mapping equipment. You can literally scan small objects. I've done cups, the handle, write my name on the cup. Stuff like that. You can do really, really, really crazy detail stuff. So you can take the statue's face and you can actually make the eyes open up. You can scan those and put images in where the eyes are opening up, the eyebrows are moving. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. Bring it to life. All right, let's go from here. What do we have for time here? We're just about here. I'm going to put enough information for everyone on here. Let's see. Let's do something really cool. Let's put this in here. We'll put some colors in. For a lot of people, it seems strange because you're just not used to seeing an octagon screen and it doesn't even look real. Even when I watch the videos, it doesn't really look real, but that's why we do them live because, again, it really doesn't look real because you're not used to seeing an octagon screen. You're used to seeing a screen that is square. Or basically, if you've seen portrait, we do put out portrait screens. You're used to seeing that, but you're not used to seeing that octagon. It looks pretty crazy, especially against the white wall and the surface being jet black. You know, it's kind of strange. Looks like a whole nother vortex. I would love to be able to build. I'm going to build myself a mini Stargate. What do you call it? Portal. I'm building myself one. I'm going to use a 50 lumen projector. Yeah, you can attach this equipment to the 50 lumen projector. I wish people would have jumped on this when this company came out because they had an amazing idea. I hope they basically decide to come back again because this was an incredible idea they had. The life form technology is absolutely beautiful. When I first started out, it was a bit of a headache because I had to get through a lot of bugs. But when I really got it all ironed out, it's absolutely beautiful. I hope my machine lasts forever because they're extremely hard to get your hands on. And on top of that, the reason why I chose this particular model was because this particular model allows you to turn any projector you want into a 3D mapping machine. It can be ultra short throw, it can be long throw, it can be portable. You can do that, and it's also Wi-Fi, which means I can run independently with no wires and cables at all, period. Which I love, it's on the go. I'm going to show you the hardware we're using in the demonstrations that people always ask what we're using in the demonstrations. And here it is right there. That is the light form. That's it. There is the program on the computer. That's it. You don't have to have nothing attaching. This is all running separately by itself, and this is running independently by itself. That's what I love about it. People who develop that technology, I hope they do have it come back. There we go. Fantastic job in developing that. Oh, let's do this one. This one looks like some kind of portal. It looks pretty cool. I'm doing this one right here next. I know we're about over time, about to close it down. I'm going to do this last one. This one looks pretty cool. It looks like this one looks like a portal, but the other one looks like a pretty cool portal also. Let me see. We can get away from the projector for goodness sakes. There we go. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. We're just going to be showing and advertising this on the Black Series. If you're interested in the Black Series technology, we are doing pre-orders. All pre-orders before the launch date of November the 2nd. Keep in mind, we only will be accepting only those that are on the pre-order list for the first month, and then next month it will be available for everyone. So some people have gotten that mixed up. They think that the launch date is going to be it's going to be November 2nd for everyone. No, the November the 2nd launch date is for the pre-orders only. They will get it first, and then after that, the month after that, it'll be available for everyone. So if you're interested in the technology, you can place your pre-order today. I will put you on the list, and you'll be good to go. Those of you who place orders on the site, we do appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And as always, we thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for blessing us with amazing technology. Gotta go, and God bless.